Hey everyone, Hassan here. Welcome to the world of Ha. Today I got another Power Rangers Super Ninja Steel review for you. These are some new Mega Morph items. We have the Super Ninja Steel Lunar Rover and the Alpine Attack Vehicle. So we've seen a whole bunch of different Mega Morph vehicles ranging in various sizes and shapes and configurations and such, but there's so many different possibilities, and they've released some new designs as part of the Super Ninja Steel toy line in the new packaging that's black with a little bits of red lightning bolts and so on. So very interesting. I'm definitely excited to kind of try this out and see what it's all about. So let's take a little closer look at the packaging here. So they both mention this Mega Morph Activator, press and morph. And essentially, I think that's a fancy word for the same thing that all the other Mega Morph vehicles had, which is you push a button and it transforms. Like literally, that's pretty much all it is. So that's just kind of their fancy term for it now, Mega Morph Activator. So the side of the box shows you the toy right there and so on. So it's kind of neat that we do have a Lionfire Red Ranger figure. Now granted, this is going to be a little bit more of a limited version compared to the actual full 5-inch figure, which will be fully painted and so on whenever that releases in stores. But at least we kind of get a taste of that now. So as you can see, Mega Morph Activator equipped, you push the button and it transforms into the Lunar Rover. It is also ZordBuilder compatible. I don't have the Blaze Megazord as of now, but I will show it to you with the Ninja Steel Megazord at least. And the wheels spin. I feel like that isn't really something to promote because generally speaking, a lot of the vehicles do have spinning wheels. But I guess they ran out of gimmicks and they had nothing else to put on the back of the box there. I don't know. But then we have the Alpine Attack Vehicle. So very interesting choice. We have, looks like the Lionfire Yellow Ranger. So that is new. So that's very interesting. So again, on the back of the box, you have this Ninja Star. You push the button and it transforms into that. They look to be a little different, although similar style of gimmick. So we'll see how it goes, basically. And then this packaging also shows the glider, which I have reviewed recently. So there's that. So anyways, let's take these open and see what they're like. Alright, I have the Lunar Rover and the Alpine Attack Vehicle out of the packaging. Here they are. These things are kind of interesting looking. So let's take a look at the Lunar Rover real quick. So basically, obviously, the gimmick on the back of the box, the wheels spin. Oh my gosh. Amazing. I really don't know why they listed that on the back of the box, but you know, I guess there's that. And so the Ranger's kind of like seated in there, basically just kind of hanging on like that. So his feet just sort of rest against the back piece right there, basically. So he's not like locked into place or anything, and his hands are grabbing the handlebar there. And yeah, I mean, it looks okay. I mean, it doesn't look super great, to be honest, like this. You know, I feel like, I don't know, these back side pieces just look so not great when they're lifted up. So it just looks kind of awkward and weird like this. So it's nice that the Ranger can do something in the vehicle, like hang on to it like that, but it just looks kind of weird in my opinion. Whereas this one I think actually looks kind of cool. So look at this guy right here. So he's riding it like this, so the Yellow Ranger blends in perfectly with the yellow here. And this kind of looks neat. I mean, he's digging this a lot. Now there's no wheels or anything, but it does slide pretty easily because of the flat surfaces right there. So I mean, yeah, he looks really cool. I dig this design with him in the vehicle like that. Like, I think that looks really interesting. It's totally not like anything that a ninja would use, because you got like this whole, like, I imagine him on like a mountain full of snow and just I don't know, like I get, you know, like skis, kind of like that whole vibe there, like this whole, it looks really odd for a ninja, like it looks totally out of place. But then again, he has the whole Lionfire armor thing, which is not very ninja-like either. So if you ignore the ninja part of it, maybe the steel part of it, I guess, kind of fits a little bit better because he's more armory looking and got this interesting looking vehicle and stuff. So I don't know, but it looks cool. I dig it. I dig the design. It's original. Well, as far as we know, it could show up in Power Rangers Super Ninja Steel. We don't know that. The Mega Morph Cycle did, so we don't really know if this will or not. So let's take the figures off of here, and then I'll show you what the figures look like real quick, and then we'll get to the vehicles themselves. So the initial disappointment is the legs are stuck in whatever position they're in. That's it. He cannot stand on his own. He can't. The legs do not move. They are permanently frozen in that position, which makes this action figure absolutely useless if it's not on that vehicle. So that is a big bummer. Now granted, you can use any of the other 5-inch Rangers, you know what I mean? So I can, if I wanted to, I can take my Super Ninja, or what's the mode? Super Ninja Steel mode, or Super Steel mode, Ninja Super Steel mode, whatever it's called. I can take this guy, and I can have him on the vehicle right here. And same goes for that as well, for either of these vehicles. Actually, any of the Mega Morph vehicles, for that matter. You can attach any of the 5-inch figures like so, which is great because then obviously, when they're off the vehicle, they have more posability and so on. So that's certainly a plus. These figures, though, not so much. And obviously there's no paint on these guys either. So the only thing that's painted is that part of the helmet right there. Which the regular 5-inch figure is going to be similarly based on some of this design, although with a lot more paint. So in terms of the design of the figure, you're kind of getting a bit of a sneak peek on that. You have the Lion Fire Morpher right there. So decent bit of detail showing that on the wrist there. And yeah, I mean, just, decent bit of detail in the design. Just terrible articulation and huge lack of paint. But that's par for the course with these vehicles. The Yellow Ranger one is also permanently stuck, but permanently stuck squatting down like this, like he is on a toilet or something. So again, you're not really going to be able to use him at all unless he is in that vehicle. Detail-wise is going to be similar as well. You have your Lion Fire Morpher right there, just the armor overall. They used a nice bright yellow, so it definitely stands out quite a bit. And there's the helmet. Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of odd. Also, I noticed here, this guy has a little bit of like silver underneath the black, whereas this one doesn't. So it just looks like it's just not finished, kind of. But granted, he's not finished at all because there's no other paint on him. But anyways, so let's move on. We know that the figures with the cycles suck because the other Mega Morph vehicles came with figures like this. So these were also not so great. A little bit better, but still not super great either. All right, so what is new with these figures, right? So when it comes to actually transforming them, so first of all, let's take a look at, this vehicle right here. So the Lunar Rover, the handlebars can go down. So you pull up the handlebars when you want to have the Ranger hold it, otherwise it just goes down like that. Here's the design. You have your like Ninja Steel logo kind of on the bottom there, like that. But yeah, I don't know, it's kind of interesting. And honestly, as a vehicle like this, it doesn't look so great to me because of these parts right here. It looks kind of odd. But the way that you transform this is actually the easiest Mega Morph item so far. You ready? Here's a very complicated transformation. Done. That's it. You just fold it back, boom. I have now completed the transformation to a Power Star. Calling this a Power Star is a bit of a stretch because of how bulky looking it is, but you've got your normal shape, I guess you could say, with the center right here. I don't know, it's a little weird. You have your tires on the bottom right here, which looks kind of odd, with the 2 here and the 4 here. It's really weird, but at least this part here is consistent with the design because you got like a little gold circle there and then gold around the sides. There's more gold on this than there is on the Legacy Zeo Gold Ranger. That is very sad, but there we go. So yeah, I mean, that's really the design of it. And you also have the little lightning bolt right here in green. And so this is that Mega Morph Activator that they were talking about. And so this is actually slightly different. I was talking earlier when I was looking at the box about how it's just a fancy name for what it is. It's actually a little bit different. And I do want to clarify because, if you take a look at, for example, the Mega Morph Cycle, there was no little button like that. The button was basically pushing the back part of this. Also, one other note, the way that you transform this is you put it flat on the ground and you push it and it will transform. This, you put it flat on the ground and do it, it's not going to work very well. You kind of have to hold it up and then awkwardly with your hand sort of push it like this. And then, and my finger was even right in the way and that just messed it up. So a little odd to transform it, but there it is right there, right? The way that this transforms, you ready? Put this down on the ground, you just push the Mega Morph Activator, and it pops up. That's it. Very simple, very easy to transform. and very easy to transform back. Whereas here, to transform it back, you're kind of like, hold on, let me do this, and then fold this in, and then line up the arrow, and then pull this back and click it into place, and there we go. You know, it takes a couple steps right there to do that. Now, granted, there are a lot of similarities here in the color scheme. They're both black with gold around the edges here. So I like that consistency in the color scheme, especially if you have the cycle and you have this, it works together very nicely. However, whereas I think the cycle looks pretty neat like this, I don't think this looks so great. I think the vehicle mode is kind of lacking there. Now, we've seen the Mega Morph cycle on the show. Are we going to see the Lunar Rover on the show? Who knows? We don't know yet. Maybe. I kind of hope not if this is how it's going to look, because it's not going to look so great. But unless they make it much better looking on the show, we'll see. But you see the difference here, right? The Mega Morph Activator, this little button, they've made it a little more defined and easy to identify what you have to push. And they made it easy to transform. You just push it, pops up, boom, right? So you'll see that pattern continue, because I want to quickly show you here, right? This was the previous Mega Morph glider. You kind of have to do it like this. And that wasn't so bad, but again, this button sort of blends in with the design here, right? Then this one here, in particular, you're like, where is this button? I don't see a button. There's no button here. You kind of have to hold it like this awkwardly and push up on this tab right here, and then it pops open like that. You know what I mean? So, you know, and again, Mega Morph also was the extended sizes right here. So we had this big little guy right here, which you push like so, and it pops up like that, right? But again, no button. That one I was folding it in half and it pops open like that. So big differences, right? So the trend continues here. So here is the Alpine Attack Vehicle. And I dig the design, as I said. I think it looks really interesting. You do have kind of like little ninja stars on the side right there, and even right here, although it's black, so it's a little hidden. Right there in the front, the design, you know, and right in the back right there. So kind of interesting looking for sure, right? It is a little flimsy because when you kind of pick it up, you know, these pieces kind of flop around a little bit, so you can't really mess with it too much. It's not going to fall off. It's just that's part of the transformation, which is why it's a little flimsy when sort of picking it up. You kind of have to pick it up from the center to keep it stable. So the way that this one transforms, this one actually takes like 2 or 3 steps. Not, you know, it's not like a one step, boom, and that's it, right? And then boom. It's not like that. There's 1 or 2 little steps here, but it's still very easy. And so basically, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to take the 2 little black side pieces right here, and you're going to fold them back like that, and it clicks into place very easily. Done, right? Then you're going to fold this back, and it's going to click into place right here. Done. And then the last thing you're going to do, and this one's kind of interesting, you're going to flip this forward, but you'll see it's going to hit the wheel, right? Oops. So what you have to do is you kind of have to flip it and pull it out and over the wheel, and it's going to click into place up here. So it flips out and over. Done, like that. So it flips up horizontally. So you almost think it's supposed to go forward, but it's not. It goes down and then over and around like that. Okay? And this is the Power Star. Looks really odd as a ninja star. I mean, it doesn't look like a ninja star to me. I don't know what it looks like, to be honest. It's just a thing, but it is more flat. But yeah, it's just kind of like a little sandwich, like you just squished it, basically. That's really what it is. Doesn't look like a Power Star to me at all. Like, I wouldn't throw this. I mean, that's not gonna work. So I feel like that is really odd. So it's almost the opposite of this, whereas the vehicle mode is lacking here. The Power Star looks a little bit better. Here, the Power Star is not so great, but the vehicle mode is cool. So to transform this again, you have your Mega Morph Activator right here. So all you gotta do is push the button, and it pops open like that. Now this one is not without its faults. As you see, this piece did not transform. So every now and then, not all of the pieces transform. So let's try that one more time. Fold this back, this one here, down, out, and around, down, out, and around, boom, right? So very quick, very easy to transform. Even though there's a couple steps, very easy. Push the button, pops open like that. That time it worked. So still very easy to do. And I like the fact that you push it while it's on the ground, because if I were to hold this, right, and try and do this, so let me do this and do that. I kind of have to hold it like that, and then it hits my hand. It doesn't transform, right? The other Mega Morph vehicles, you kind of had to hold it up in the air. So that kind of was annoying. So they made it much easier to transform. And for that, I appreciate it because that's the whole gimmick of the Mega Morph vehicles, right? Just how easy they can transform. So yeah, it is what it is. Now, both of these do have ZordBuilder compatibility, right? So let's just transform them to Power Stars real quick, and then I'll show you how that goes. Again, very easy to transform this one. Pretty fluid, I like it. So, I have my Ninja Steel Megazord right here. So let's pop off this arm. And basically, there's a ZordBuilder port on the bottom right here, and this just sort of attaches on. Yeah. The limbs on mine are really weak, so hold on. I gotta hold it properly so it doesn't just come crumbling apart. So hold it right here. Okay, got it. Let's reattach the leg, and like that. It's really awkward. It's not so great looking, as you can see. So the thing with the ZordBuilder stuff with the Mega Morph vehicles is you can do it. It just doesn't look super great. Same thing with the other arm right here. There's a ZordBuilder port right down here. So again, this piece can also connect. And let me do this in front of me real quick. All right, so let me bring this back like so. So I can have it down like that, but again, it just looks kind of awkward and weird. So it's possible, but it just doesn't look super great. Now, can you do it as a vehicle? Well, yes to that one. This one, kind of, although it can't, it must be already transformed to do it, you know? And it looks awkward still, right? I mean, it's just, you have this vehicle just sticking off the sides like that, and it's also top heavy, and if your limbs aren't very strong in the Megazord like mine, it'll start to lean over and sort of fall. So, you know, it's kind of not so great for those purposes. So it's possible, but not really super fantastic. So let's take these off of the Megazord right here. And yeah. I mean, that's basically, you know, to sum things up, that's what these new Mega Morph vehicles are all about. They made them easier to transform. And in both senses, to transform to the Power Stars, as you can see, done. And then with this one, boom, boom, and right, very easy to transform both. And then to activate, you just boom, right? And so, you know, it's still a little hit or miss on some of these. As you can see, it's not the absolute greatest, but it's a thing. I don't know. I have mixed feelings on these types of things. I think the concept behind the toys is interesting. I don't know if the execution is the best. In my opinion, if you are going to get one of these, I recommend this one. I think it looks better, and I think it's pretty neat the way that it transforms. Whereas this one, I almost feel is too simple, and also it doesn't look great as a vehicle. So I would prefer the Alpine Attack Vehicle if I had to pick. But again, your enjoyment of this is going to depend on if you enjoy transforming them and having these extra vehicles and such. I don't think ZordBuilder compatibility is going to be a big selling point here. So anyways, there is that. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this review. Let me know in the comment section below what you think as well. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you later. Now, if you enjoyed these Mega Morph vehicles, I have some Mega Morph weapons here. So we have the Blade Bow and Axe Bow. So this is new. So we have Mega Morph items that come with Power Stars. So instead of being actual vehicles with Ranger figures, we have these. So that's something new to the Mega Morph line. They both have the Mega Morph Activator, the little buttons there. So very, very interesting. So, I wasn't sure if I was gonna buy these, but then I was like, you know what? It's kind of a new part of the Mega Morph line. I want to try these out, and these look kind of interesting looking. I gotta say, these look kind of neat, so we'll check them out and see what they're all about. So if you want to see these reviews, then definitely hit that subscribe button, because I have reviews of these and other Super Ninja Steel stuff coming in the future. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you later.